Hello everybody and welcome back to Chaotic Neutral Games after a 2-week break. Your ragged DM has come back all refreshed and ready to wreak havoc with our poor players. Welcome back to anybody who's in the chat. I haven't got it up at the moment, but I'm sure that the guys will be checking now. We've had a slight problem. Any of you who are on Discord will probably know it as well, and that is that video chat is not happening for many people on Discord. So we are going to have my beautiful face here on the video, but unfortunately we won't have any of the others. So we'll put up the character art, and those guys unfortunately will be voice only. Anyway, we'll get into a bit of chat after the opening credits. But let's remind ourselves of where we left off. After investigating the strange loss of 3 weeks of memory, the beneficiaries, I guess we can call them, party, went out into the wilds of Vardencourt to track down their steps, find out how this befell them. They met a strange goblin, Dr. Merrick Briarstone, an entropist, he would call himself, and not at all a necromancer, who provided them some insight to some strange badges that they had found were being given out to some of the Imperial troops in the Vardencourt army, specifically the troops that were under Duke Edmund Ostermark, the Duke that owns Ostergald, the city of the... They carried on investigating and went to Location X, a place where some arcanists, wizards and the like, had been going to, and then disappearing, and then coming back later on. Suppliers going out there, strange workers, and yet there should be nothing there. They travelled and went on a few side missions along the way, and eventually got to the coast, whereupon Glory saw an illusion, a very powerful illusion. It took the dark opal that she has on the jewellery that covers her hand to be able to see it in the first place. They went there and fought for their lives as they were attacked by some bodyguards, well, door guards, I guess, bouncers, of blue Slard. Slard that were being controlled by somebody inside the facility below. The facility that they now know as the Institute lay before them, in a cave that had some sort of underground river that came out to sea. They went into the cave, found a door, and thanks to a recent acquisition of Cora's, she was able to phase through this large vault door, open it from the inside, and let her compatriots in. Inside, the people that they thought they were going to fight, the Institute themselves, seemed to be strewn about them, several people dead, and nastily so. They did some investigation, and, after a strange, disembodied hand chalked up some advice, they found a lift, mechanical lift, very rare here in this world. Most things are done by magic or pulleys and ropes. This is as near as damn it modern technology. They found a way in by substituting, I don't remember what it was for a card. We'll have to ask the players. They just made a punch card, I think. And they went down into a cage. One of the players has just said in my ear they used ice very cleverly to go into this cage lift that went down into the depths. As they did so, this strange mutated creature ran up to the cage on one of the floors and shot out a tongue, which ended up hitting Eclipse. Part of the tongue detached and kind of stuck in her, but they were able to pull it out. But not before the cage of the lift continued moving and severed the tongue. Thankfully, Farewell threw it away. Who knows what that tongue would have done. They carried on into the depths after they received a message of a researcher from the Institute is hiding out in the plant room, the steam room, below this Institute facility, this clandestine dungeon. They're trying to find him, and hopefully with him, some answers. However, the last communication that they had with him was slightly dire, as something in the steam rooms is trying to hunt. When we left off at the end of last session, the lift doors were opening into a dark, dank, mould and slime covered pipes, making a labyrinth of absolute darkness. They're going to step in, and after seeing what had already attacked them in the elevator, they don't know what they're going to be. So, welcome to the autumn season of the Benefactor. Hello, everybody.
Hello.
I apologise, Kate. I've just realised you've got Aiden's picture there, but we'll deal with that.
That kind of looks a bit like an angry Cora. I can cope with that.
Oh, why is she angry? Nothing bad is happening. So
Ragey Cora.
ragey. My halfling is enraged.
I would like to rage.
So, how are we doing? How was your holiday? Let's start with that. Let's get to brass tacks with the guys in chat as well. Let's see who's in there.
Nobody at the moment.
Nobody at the moment. We don't even have a rattle. Somebody poke him. So it doesn't matter.
I think he might be asleep.
Because we've been away for 2 weeks. Suddenly
We've been away for 2 weeks. Don't love us anymore.
Damn fickle tabletop community.
Well, actually, there's some things from what we've put onto social media. So, Kate, how was the Fringe?
Yeah, it was the Fringe. It's crazy as always. Whirlwind of stuff. Well, luckily this year, apart from the very first kind of day we were there, which was Sunday, which was really, really wet and miserable.
Mm-hmm.
We were actually pretty lucky with the weather, which was nice. It just does its usual, like, oh, it's really nice, and then whoop, here comes the rain, cover up for a moment, and then 2 seconds later have to try and take the ponchos off and various things. It's kind of crazy. But yeah, it was good. We had decent enough audiences for the Fringe, like above average stuff. Yeah, I think it went well. It was tiring as always. I'm glad it was only 2 weeks, rather than the whole 3. But yeah, good fun to do. Glad I kind of went a second time. And
yeah.
Yeah.
What was the show?
Get back to the real world.
Yeah. What was the show, by the way? It was some sort of history show for kids, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a storytelling show for kids called The First King of England in a Dress. Basically about King Canute and trying to rescue some ladies and girls from evil monks in a monastery, and has to dress up as a woman to do it, and with the help of a girl who's pretending to be a boy. It's there's lots of cross-dressing in it, which doesn't sound like it's for kids, but it's yeah. So I play about 5 different parts, going from myself into a Viking man to an English man to a King Canute to back to English lady. I think at the very end is yes, with a mop on my head for about half the show. It's great.
Sounds great.
Fantastic.
It's kind of nuts.
Well, I've been to Sweden, went back and had the kind hospitality of Corinne's family, and got to spend some time, what we call locally here, frothing with Felicia about various bits and pieces, because of course she's there herself. And
we got to see my nephews. One who's running around and being a goblin, and one who's very, very small and
very
is
small. Very blinky.
Very small and very much a chunk.
Yes. He's at the stage where he eats, sleeps, and poops.
Sounds like a good life.
Yes.
So we all do that, right?
Yeah.
I
Yes.
say, who stopped doing that?
It's the exclusivity of it, I think, that's marking it. Yeah.
That's all he does.
And Nick, how was your time off?
I managed to build myself quite a successful den, at which point I proceeded to hibernate for the next 2 weeks, fending off the local teenagers with pointy sticks and death traps, because those damn kids keep coming on my lawn, and I'm a crotchety old man now, so I'm officially.
You got your NIMBY badge. Oh my god.
Yeah, I'm officially allowed to ward off the kids from get off my lawn.
Get off my lord.
No. I'll be honest, I didn't do a whole lot. I spent an awful lot of time working and doing really boring grown-up stuff, but it was lovely to, I guess, at least on a Friday night, actually go out for a beer, which I haven't been able to do for a little bit of.
Very true.
Yeah, certainly.
It is quite interesting when you have to explain to them, I'm really sorry, boys, I can't go out for a social life because I'm playing Dungeons and Dragons. And you think the reaction would be, Dungeons and Dragons, it's, oh, why can't we play? And it's like, sorry, groups, well, really sorry, guys.
Means you've got the right friends.
Yeah.
Certainly, you got the right friends. Yeah. I was pleasantly surprised this week because somebody who I've just started employing, she was walking past with one of my seniors, and he said, "Oh, do you have any hobbies?" And she was like, "Oh yeah, I paint miniatures." And I was like, "Approve." Yeah,
Yes.
I can't promote them on that basis, but it's good to know that the geek is still strong. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Makes their boss
They
less weird if they're into it
have
too.
officially entered the maybe promote them if they turn up to be really good book.
Because that's a book. Okay, right.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Obviously.
So, about your current predicament, let's just have a moment to reflect on this.
I'm slightly disappointed we don't have a webcam because I got a new shirt that says paranoia on it, and I wore it tonight because best, but no.
I need to put on the spooky music that Nick.
Yes.
So
Spooky music.
you have managed to find the place that you suspect was responsible for removing memories of 3 weeks from you. And now that you're here, anybody who can give you any answers is probably dead, with the exception of a terrified guy who's stuck in a plant room.
Which we're currently going to. I
You
think.
really are. You really are.
Yeah, we're gonna get him out of there.
I'd like to point out one of the obvious
Burn the
challenges
place
here.
to the Stop! Shush! We're gonna burn the place to the ground, and then we're gonna have some answers
Mm-hmm.
after burning the place to the ground because
After
we can.
burning the ground. This is a good tactic. Yeah. because the place is the ground, and you'd have to burn upwards to burn it to the ground. But but it's an
I can
idea
work
in
with that.
it's an idea in motion. I'd like to point out one of the major challenges of this particular type of dungeon, and that is rests. You're probably not going to have, unless you.
Yeah, it's why
find ways
it's
to-
why Cora's
Spoilers.
sat there going, I only need.
Yeah. Oh well, this
I only
isn't
let her-
spoilers. This is something that your characters, as you look at the facility and you realize that there are things in it, this is a concern that will have occurred to you. And because we've had 2 weeks off, I thought it was only fair to point out that your characters have realized this. Okay.
Fair.
Right. Okay. So what's before us?
So let's get started.
Yeah.
As the door opens, the 5 of you look out into near darkness. The small ether light that lit up the, we'll call it a lift, spills out onto what seems to be rusted, and then later on you realise it's just pitted tubes and pipes. They're everywhere. Huge forest of them. And you realise that the reason why they're pitted and they look so terrible is that everything in the rooms that you've seen so far has been so clean and contemporary, clean lines, geometric, really, state-of-the-art place. Whereas down here, in the guts of it, where they don't have to show off, they've just rough cast these big-ass pipes and put them everywhere. The pipes are causing a certain amount of noise. Some of them are making whooshing noises as there's a kind of a pulse, almost like a heartbeat, whoosh, 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 through certain pipes. Other pipes are still, and then all of a sudden will just randomly judder, and then stop again. For some of them, they seem to have like a kind of a vibration, almost like a gas is going through them. So not everything seems to have a liquid sloshing through it. For others, there's definitely a kind of hiss, a gaseous hiss. And this strange cacophony of subtle noises fills this very limited, but seemingly very large area. And because in front of you, you've got about 4 foot to the nearest wall of pipes, you have no idea how big this is. The doors start to close on the lift. Go back up if you want, or you can step in.
Quick question. Who can see in the dark?
I can.
I can.
I
Though,
don't think
Glory,
so.
would you mind with some dancing lights? Because I think we are friends here.
Do we want lights when there's things that shoot parasites? I mean,
It
I
would
have a
attract
sli-
attention.
yeah. I mean,
Yes,
what I
but
was thinking was maybe.
would we not rather see them instead of bumping into them?
Well, that's the idea is that you would scout ahead. We can
Right.
talk telepathically to one another with our badges. Glory
Yes.
could lead those of us that can't see in the dark will be like a human chain. So I put my hand on Aiden's shoulder, Aiden on hers, and Cora can hold on to my belt.
Ooh, that's dangerous. You're suggesting I don't hold on to my shoulder?
Well, technically, as I'm playing his character, he's not got much choice.
Fair.
You guys made sort of friends before as well, so.
And he's a practical enough man. Anyway, and so what we can do then is we can very carefully and stealthily make our way forward. As we've got a rough idea, I think, of where we need to go, but this seems safe. If fights happens, then by all means, Glory, light this place up like it's the day. But I think at the moment, the safest thing for us to do is to just use the darkness where we can. but that's just my idea.
Agreed.
Are you
Very
comfortable
much.
with that, Eclipse?
Sure. I can do that. I can scout ahead. I will do it silently.
You're out of all of us. I think you're the best.
Yes. I will give it a try. Um,
And I put my hand on her shoulder, and I will give her guidance
Okay.
for her or when I think she's about ready to go and start looking forward and perceiving stuff. I will give her the benefit of guidance.
Okay.
sure.
And then
So,
everybody, then Iden will get in line, and I'll get in line, and we'll get ready to.
okay. As you step out into the boiler room, I'll call it a boiler room for now, although I've already described it's probably not as simple as that. The lift doors close, and the thin sliver of light, the last light that's available, gets thinner and thinner and disappears. Did you say you had dark vision, Eclipse?
Yes, I do.
You start to scout ahead, and you realise that this is going to be as labyrinthine as I described. The first is a turn to the right, and then there's a turn left and straight on. But it's not as simple as that. These aren't walls where it's a simple turn left or a simple turn right. This is a plant room. I used to be a facilities manager. Anybody knows that you go into these types of things. You're ducking pipes, you're stepping over pipes. There's various kinds of dials and valves that you're having to curl yourself into all sorts of shapes to get past. And thankfully, you can see just enough. You don't quite know how, because you can't see in absolute darkness. And it feels like absolute darkness. And then you realise that some of this kind of slime, almost like a lubricant of some kind, that maybe some sort of engineering lubricant, gives off the very, very faintest of glows. Maybe magical.
Mm-hmm.
Don't have enough time to stop and check.
No.
It's
I keep in
certainly
contact
not glowing,
with.
but it's
Yeah.
keeping it just off absolute.
Yeah. I'm keeping in contact with the others while I'm scouting ahead, telling them it's so far as I can see currently clear, and kind of telling them in what direction I'm going as well.
Okay. In that case, give me a stealth roll. You have the guidance that Nick gave you, but you roll with disadvantage.
Oh, am I rolling because I'm talking, or?
Because you're guiding them.
Yeah.
But it does eliminate one of their problems.
Yes. So that is a 15.
Okay.
With your guidance?
With guidance, I rolled.
Oh.
I rolled like 4.
Okay. Well, thankfully you're you.
Yeah.
That's pretty high for this situation. Now, you know that anybody trying to see you will have a bit of a problem. It's just that you know with your little guidance to them, and you're having to step over things and occasionally bumping into things, you're going to be mostly stealthed. But there's going to be a chance that every now and again people will get a clue as to where you are.
If they got a passive perception above 15. Yay.
At first,
Do I see anything?
pipes. Just pipes and dials and levers and valves, just everywhere. And there are times when you're having to bend over double to get under some of these things, and there are other times when you're climbing over pieces of equipment as well. There must be some sort of order down here, but you've never even seen anything like this before. You've seen pipes and cellars and things like that, but this is insane. There must be hundreds of different channels in here. And it's at that point that you don't get this, because this guy did not detect you, Eclipse. but somewhere near Farewell's ear, there's a voice as Farewell bumps into something, and there's a voice that says, "Is it you? Is it you or one of them? You can reply to this message."
Yeah, yes, we're here. Where are you?
I'm not sure. I was just... I deliberately got myself lost in here, figuring that if I didn't know where I was, it was going to be hard for it to find me. I'm not actually making any noise at the moment. I'm speaking to you through my mind. I'm in a chamber. I think it's a pressure vessel. It seems to be one of the ones that they aren't using at the moment. I've turned off all the valves and I crept inside. It's quite strong. Probably get, and you can kind of get these you get the sensation that he's feeling around. He goes, "You could probably get, yes, all of us in here. It would be a little personal. It'll allow us to talk quietly, get some sort of stratagem, some exit strategy. You're here to rescue me, aren't you?"
First things first, can we not play the pronoun game? And if there's something in there that's going to hurt you, it's going to hurt us. And we're better if we can fight things that we know about. And second, we need to find you first to rescue you. So anything you can do to help direct us to you?
Yes. There are two things that are near me that I don't think I saw anywhere else. The first one is a set of 5 levers. 2 of them are white, 3 of them are red. The red ones are all pulled down, the white ones are pulled up, and it goes red, white, white, red, red. Near that is a large dial that goes from left to right. It's not circular, it's semicircular, and it goes from left to right, and it has a green needle that goes, and the green needle glows. That's the one thing about it, that it glows, and I think the little white levers do as well, and they give off enough of a light that you can see the red ones. But you're just going to have to, I guess, explore until you find it. Once you find that, go between the two so that the levers are on your left and the dial, the kind of arc dial, is on the right. Keep going forward and keep feeling to the right until you find the biggest of the vessels that you've seen so far. And then all you need to do is just kind of scooch around the side of it between some pipes and it, and then you should be able to find the entrance. It's not locked. Lock it from the outside. So I unbolted the handle. At the moment, it's just me holding the door shut with my hands. Please hurry. And be careful. I know one of them is out there. They are some form of, I guess, aberrant abyssal. We know they're from the abyss. Probably demonic in nature, but no guarantees with that place, I'm afraid. These ones adapt. Most of the ones that we called through, they were just reckless, primal, animalistic. But then we noticed that some of them that came through acted very different. As they were being harvested, they were just being, well, they were looking around. They spent their entire time just looking around and speaking in some strange tongue. And once they'd been harvested, that was it. They didn't really try to defend themselves. Anyway, come as fast as you can. I'll tell you more when you get here. Please, hurry.
We'll be there as soon as we can. Oh,
Can you tell me?
shit.
I don't even think my family would be stupid enough to harvest beings
Well,
from the abyss. Ugh.
Did everybody hear that, or just me?
Just you, didn't I?
Oh, I missed that part if it was just you.
Just you.
So-
Sorry, Simon. So
Yeah.
it's just me.
That was just farewell.
Simon, Just fail.
Oh, shit. Why does they always talk to me?
I rolled a dice.
What?
Our good friend that was helping us, and this is, for the sake of the people listening, this is actually a whisper, rather than, just talking normally.
Stage whisper for you, Wendy.
Yeah, absolutely. Our friend is in here. He's managed to crawl inside some kind of pipe, and he's sort of waiting for us, but has gotten himself lost. He's near some kind of. There's like a set of levers that are up and down, and he's near a sort of kind of dial that's got a green needle that glows. And he's near there.
Right. See
Yeah.
anything like that, Eclipse?
And I don't happen to have locate object prepared. So I
Right.
can't.
Can I see it anywhere?
At present, no. You've probably moved all of about 20 foot.
Yeah.
Oh,
Let's continue moving.
I can't see it because I'm ahead.
You're ahead by you've all. I'd say you. The guys behind have probably moved about 10 foot. You've moved about 20 foot before this conversation started. No, there are some things
Okay.
now that you are looking for it. There you can see that some things have got what seems to be small phosphorescent markings on them, but they are incredibly dull. And at this point, you've come to the conclusion, Eclipse, that this is for the purpose of dwarfs. You know that dwarves use a kind of dull dye, dull phosphorescent dye that's watered down that provides just enough light for a dwarf to see, but not for any of the invaders.
Oh, and there's one more thing. He seems pretty sure one of those monster things is perhaps in here with us and is adapting, but it seems to perhaps react to sound. So we need to be really quiet. Yeah, that also upset me as well.
Interesting.
No, not interesting. Worrying. Focus.
Very
Focus.
worrying, but interesting. What way could it be adapting?
A problem for later.
I guess.
So we continue on.
Okay.
Right. Yes.
Yeah. Corey, you with us?
I'm just gonna hold on to your belt, and I don't think Eowyn can even see very well either, but she's gonna look around for some green glowing things and see if she can find anything.
That's
But
probably for the
we're
best,
all
Cora,
kind of in the
because I
dark
can
here.
always find you. I always know where you are, so you can send me out if you wish.
Okay, but be careful because there's probably pipes everywhere. I can feel them, but I can't see much tall.
I'll fly slowly. I'll be fine. I'm invisible after all. I'll be right back. And you can feel her consciousness flitter away from you. So, Eclipse, give me a survival roll.
Survival. Oof. This is without guidance, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, 4.
Okay.
Boy.
And now give me a dexterity saving throw.
Well, thankfully I got evasion, so.
Evasion doesn't count here.
Of course you do. Oh.
Well, if it's damage, I still take off damage, I assume.
Just do a dexterity saving throw.
Yeah, yes. Let's see. So that is 21.
Okay. You're picking your way through. You put your hand on what you think is a pipe. And then it moves. And then it falls off the pipe, and you realise that it's some sort of pot. It's a pot of something. The lid is on and all the rest of it, but it falls to the floor, and you know it's going to make a sound. And with 21, you manage to snatch it up before it hits the ground.
Did she make a sound though?
Well, she just roleplay going, ah!
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that was me screaming, not.
Really?
Too late. Too late. It's already gone. You can hear the irons at the end.
It was me. I didn't say it in my accent.
oh, and I'm supposed to distinguish when you're crying out in an accent. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. I see how it is.
Ow.
In that case, yeah, I'll let it go for now, because really the trial there was not was catching the pot, which you did.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've got a pot of something. You have no idea what it is because it's in complete darkness. But you've got a pot of something.
Well, I can still see because dark vision, but yes.
The markings on this, you need more light than to read this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm being generous by allowing you to make out dark shapes in this what is very near darkness, near total darkness. I am narratively giving you enough to be able to function, but nothing more.
Right.
Yeah, those who haven't got dim light vision are completely screwed. Completely screwed. The only thing that I would allow for complete visibility right now is the Warlock Eldritch Invocation, which allows you to see in magical darkness. That would be the only thing that can pierce this level of darkness.
I'm pretty sure I don't have that.
You don't.
So you start picking your way through these pipes, and after a while you get really turned around, Eclipse, because all these bloody things look the same. You start to try and do the whole looking at shapes in clouds thing of trying to pick out one pipe from another and say, oh, that looks like a swan and all the rest of it. But ultimately, they all look like pipes. And
Is
you're
it possible,
Mhm.
Simon, that we could try, this is probably not best for my character, but Cora is going to try and remember where we are going roughly, of turning right and turning left and things like that, because she can't see, and so she's like, I want to know the way back to that
okay.
lift.
I will allow one of two rolls. You can either do an intelligence roll with proficiency, because this is memory, or I will allow basically a pathfinding roll, which is either a proficiency in navigator tools, which is you just pulling out a scrap of paper and a charcoal or a pencil and just kind of going putting like L's and R's and stuff like that, or a survival check, which is again a kind of pathfinding deal. The choice of those rolls is yours.
Well, what would be the Pathfinder one?
Survival.
Like what would I add to it? Oh, so they're both survival. So survival.
Oh, sorry.
Or
so
intelligence.
it's survival, or it is a navigator tool check, or it's intelligence.
How do you do an?
Well, you have to be
navigator tool check.
You have to be proficient in navigator tools, and for navigator tools, it's usually based on your perception. So that would be wisdom plus proficiency. If you have proficiency in
I don't see any tools that say that. I just have disguise kit and thieves tools.
Sure.
So I rolled a 16. If I added my survival, that's +3, so 19 for survival.
You're in the absence of all other visual stimuli. You've just kind of gone, right, I'm gonna just keep going with this. So you're kind of reciting to yourself where you are. So you're not quite sure where you're going, but you've got somebody who knows where you went.
Yes.
Okay.
I have a question.
Yes.
So, does Aiden's gun make a noise?
If it goes off,
If it fires, it does make a noise, with the exception of one thing, and that is his ghost lantern. His ghost lantern
I think
makes
That's
no
the one
noise.
I was asking about, because I just had the thought, like, how long until he gets pissed off and says, screw this, shoots that into the air and can see everything?
I
Yes,
will
Because that
leave it to you
sounds
guys
pretty
as
Aiden.
players to decide if he does that or not.
well, because only blood hunters can see it, and I don't think that these abyssal things are blood hunters. So it's
Exactly.
be a safe thing for him to take out.
hold. Let me have a look at the weapon. You can do it. Yeah, he could do that if that's what you want him to do.
Because
So
that
yeah.
I mean, I think
I
he
mean,
would
he
want
be
to.
able to see
Need to
everything.
see right now.
No, but
Noise.
only he can see it. So no, that's a really good, Felicia. That's a brilliant idea. So Aiden will take his way to the front of the group and go, no, I've got this, and yeah, he will use Ghost Lantern on his gun and point it forwards, and will assist Corinne in finding their way, pointing out stuff, and trying to give, or alternatively, Corinne, if you want, you can assist Aiden in doing it as he can see as if it's daylight.
Yeah, because he's dex based, so his stealth score is pretty okay, isn't it?
It is.
Yeah. So we can stealth ahead, both of us, and he can help me as well with actually being able to see.
Well, it's more he's going to be leading the group because you've got to remember you've got two more people that can't see.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Correct answer. So you find all of a sudden he just goes off. For God's sake, typical kind of Aiden moment, and he steps forward and tells Eclipse to stop for a second. You can feel his hand on your shoulder, and you see, as I'm just bringing it up for the viewers. Yeah. He uses his Witchlock pistol. And as we can see here, the second feature is Ghost Lantern. You can cast the light spell from this weapon, except the light is a sickly green colour and can only be seen by blood hunters. And with a slight mutter under his breath, he twists the barrel of the Witchlock until he can feel, because he can actually feel the sigils because they're embossed onto the metal. And he points it in front of himself and he goes, better. Much better. Right. Yeah, okay. Let's go. And he starts to guide you, Eclipse. You can see only what you could see before. But now he's kind of ducking and weaving through things like it's daylight. So, well done, guys. You remembered. And I believe it was Glory. Was it Glory?
Yeah,
who
Glory.
that remembered the thing. So Felicia, Glory didn't remember, but Felicia did. Yeah, I've just given you a finesse point for that, and you nailed it. This was part of the challenge of this room. Aiden now can see very, very well, which is probably going to help him. So you start to pick your way through methodically now. He starts taking various bits and pieces, and he turns around and says, "Why you?" He says to Eclipse, "Why are you carrying that pot?"
It's my pot. I almost knocked it over, so I'm now carrying it. So I can't knock it over.
Mine.
He takes it off you, looks at it, and goes, "Universal solvent. Oh, I'm sure it'll be good for something," and hands it back to you.
Oh my god! It's universal. I will put it into my bag of holding.
Yeah, you've got a
Oh, we
quart
have a
of
point and
universal
click adventure
solvent.
game.
Yes.
I do hope we run into some sovereign glue, because universal solvent, the thing that goes against sovereign glue, is going.
We've now hit the point in the campaign where literally we're going to spend 45 minutes using every item against every puzzle, because
Yes.
we've not realised that something back in session 12 we should have picked up was needed right fucking here.
Yeah, you brought the speaking cat, right? He's pivotal for this part, right?
Don't say things like that.
I mean, you didn't take him as your familiar? Oh my god, you're fucked. So,
I did get a cat as a familiar at one point because I spent an entire fight using animal handling instead of fighting the demons that were attacking us.
Yeah.
My gnome was pretty funny.
You get about 15 foot, and suddenly Aiden picks up this item, and he goes, yeah, that's going to be useful. And he daubs something to the point where you can see it, Eclipse. He seems to have like a strange, greasy, chalk-like object. And any of you who speak Dwarvish will know that this is a mind marker. That any of you, if none of you do speak Dwarvish, you have no idea what this is. And
Nope.
The only reason you will know about it is if you speak Dwarvish, you'll probably overhear at some point in your lives the fact that they use mind markers for Dwarvish signs outside the stores and things like that. Just a way to kind of bring the mind to them. And so, yeah, he starts effectively ticking off lefts and rights. You carry on for a while, and then I'd like everybody to make me a perception check with disadvantage, other than Aiden, and Nick can roll his straight.
I am. Yeah, no.
Are we going off, if we roll lower our passive, do we go with our passive, or
In
are
this
we going
case,
wait?
ordinarily yes. In this case, no.
Yeah.
Yeah, because
Double
it's dark.
disadvantage.
Yeah, because dark, yeah.
Yeah.
12.
Okay.
15 for Aiden.
Sure.
13.
Okay.
And 11 for Farewell.
Ooh, that must hurt.
Yeah, that really, really stings.
8.
8, sure. Okay.
I rolled a 17 and a 5.
Okay. In that case, I need to roll to bring some real dice. I'll do that in the break. So I'll have to roll some dirty dice, some dirty virtual dice. Yeah.
We don't talk about
They
those
be
virtual
mean.
dice. They be very, very mean.
They so mean.
They haven't been great to you guys in the past, have they?
No.
Okay. So, Eclipse, as you're following Aiden now, and you're paying attention to a lot of stuff, mostly you guys are you're trying really hard with all of your senses to not brain yourself on a pipe. That's why I didn't allow passive, is that your passive is stopping you from bashing elbows, legs, and heads against heavy metal objects. Your passive is definitely taken up. And as you're passing a particular junction, you've scratched yourself on something.
Oh no.
And then you can hear this voice in your head. Nobody else can hear it, just you. And it says, Eclipse of the moon, tabaxi, strength, agile, movement, yes, good, with bladed weapons, some command of the arcane, yes, weaknesses, physicality, and some mental acuity. Report continues. And only you heard it.
I didn't. Just
I
looks
will
at you.
Oh, and take 1
immediately-
point of slashing damage.
I will immediately go to my badge and tell everybody exactly what I just heard and freak out.
Which we have now as canon that freaking out is a free action. So, yeah, sure. So, how do you guys react?
Boy, this must be what they meant by adapting.
Sounds like we should hit it before it hits us.
I think it just that was the thing that just stuck me. I think they're really close, and this is not fun, guys. This is really not fun.
Yeah, so it figured
Simon.
stuff out by hitting you, so we should hit it first.
Simon,
Yeah.
my little familiar is untangible in darkness.
Yes. And he goes, well, that was rude, wasn't it, mistress?
Very rude. Would you mind distracting them?
Yes.
Keep them away from our
He's difficult
position by making
even
noise.
for me to see, mistress. But I shall do my utmost. He can't.
They shouldn't be able to touch you.
And you feel this strange tickling sensation as this near intangible creature unwraps like a fox fur scarf around your neck, writhes down your arm and between two pipes.
Mm-hmm.
We are getting raided by the RPG lab.
Hello guys, it's good to be back. We're back after 2 weeks. I do apologise I didn't go into the Discord server to tell you that we were starting up, so thanks for coming and raiding us. We've had some technical difficulties. I don't know if you've tried anything on Discord at the moment, but we're screwed for video. So, the next time you hear the voice, and at that point both Eclipse and Cora hear it, is where you hear... well, actually, first of all, Cora, you suddenly feel completely nauseous. And you hear Eowyn go, I think he... And then you feel sick to your stomach as Eowyn gets dismissed from this plane of existence. And it...
Oh! Fuck.
And the voice appears in your head, Cora, and it says, Eowyn, sprite, lesser party member, easily dispatched.
I will message everyone that Eowyn's gone. And do I have an idea of where Eowyn was at that point?
Give me an insight check. I'll go for that. I'll go for that. Let's get you to go out with your feelings.
Oh, we are so unbelievably fucked.
14. Not
Start on a
amazing.
high, right? 14. You get a compass direction of where it happened, but that's about it. Okay.
Right.
I will try to indicate to people the direction by like tapping people and pointing and.
Sure. Okay. So
I think we
I think
we
I
need to
got
see.
some time. Let's hurry.
it's
think he
probably
can
best if we
see
get
us.
an initiative roll. We're not going to go into initiative, but I think it would probably be useful for us to have it just in case. So let me just load up the first encounter of this new season. And
Gonna die.
right, there we go. Fine.
You two dice have failed me. Let's try that one.
I don't
Do you
want
want
to
to-
alarm anybody, but this is not a good initiative roll from me.
Yeah, same.
I haven't rolled yet. I'm asking Simon Thomas to roll.
Okay. So. Let's put the right party on there. Beneficial. And from the top, Eclipse.
18.
Glory.
2.
Cora.
Ooh.
9.
Iden.
16.
Farewell.
6.
Oof. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Good to know. Good to know. So,
No.
you are trying to take in the surroundings. Iden has fired a fresh round of Ghost Lantern, so he can see perfectly clear. And he explains to you all that this should be a good defensive position for now, because there's no kind of turn-offs. They'd have to come a good 5 or 10 feet from the nearest junction to run at you.
I will mention that they seem to be able to find us anyway, even even in the darkness, so we might as well put it on light so we can see.
I agree.
Sure.
No argument from me.
Well
Okay.
then.
Yeah.
What sources of light are you doing?
Dancing light.
Okay, dancing lights. Cool. Okay. There's this pum 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 pum, and these little will-o'-the-wisp style lights just start hovering in the air, like little fireflies. And yeah, you can all see around you now dull grey pipes with a strange greasy sheen on them, heavily welded. Any of you who've seen any of the dwarven work in the city will recognise that this is heavy dwarven work.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, just you and the pipes. Whoosh, whoosh, judder, judder. Yes.
Should we move ahead or stay? I've sent off a distraction, so we should have some time.
I'm looking in the direction where Eowyn disappeared.
Where is the guy? Can he message us again?
We don't know.
Farewell says something about levers. We're trying to find those damn levers, and I'm looking around to look for them.
Sure.
That's exactly what Farewell's been doing. As soon as the lights come up and he's sort of blinked away that that wash that you get, he will immediately start trying to find where the hell this guy is hiding.
Regular perception
Put that
checks all round.
perception to.
Yay! Regular perception checks.
And I will, at this stage, because I know it's become desperate, cast guidance on myself as Farewell to find out what's going on.
Okay.
15.
Good to know.
You must be absolutely fucking
9.
shitting me. You are going in dice jail, you fucking shitty
You have normal
D20.
perception. It's fine.
Yeah,
I
is
rolled a
he?
2.
Bad, you can go with your passive.
I was gonna say, can he go with his passive now when there's lights around?
Yes, you can default on your passive now.
Which is insane for Farrell, so.
Which I'm glad about, because again, I rolled a natural 2.
Yes.
So it's going in jail.
Good. I've already sent 1 dice there.
Okay, Farewell is a 20, and Aiden is a 14.
What did you say? 20...
4.
24.
So you can see 3 different partial things, because it's all obscured by pipes and things, so you can see 3 separate possibilities, Farewell, that you can check out that might be it. One of them is a pair of white dots in the distance that you can see between 2 pipes, that if you manage to find a way to them, could be the levers. And then there's 2 faint green glows that you can see.
This would be a really good time to have some kind of messaging ability that didn't eat up a really important spell strength.
Indeed.
Why?
There's three choices.
How far away is the levers, Simon, or
I
the possible
don't know.
levers?
The 2 dots.
Which one?
As
Which
the crow flies, they're probably only about 30 foot away, but you got to find a way to
I will
get to
mage
them.
hand. Mage hand. See if I can pull the lever.
We don't want to pull
Why?
levers.
We don't need to pull the levers.
Don't pull levers.
We just need to find them.
Okay.
Sorry, I should have said earlier. He's actually holding the gateway open himself. So it's still a question of just finding the hatch and then trying one of 3 hatches.
Wait, but stop talking. Stop talking. Talk through the symbol thing.
Oh,
I start talking through the thing because this thing adapts. We shouldn't talk out loud.
Good point.
Yes.
I'm at a loss, other than just pick one and try it.
Well,
then. Let's go for the white ones we see. The glowing ones could be anything, since there are more glowing things here.
Sure. You're going to have to pick a route out, so that would be an intelligence check. As you unravel...
I'm okay.
Is that everybody or just certain people?
Standard task rules. 1 person is a primary actor, and someone who wishes can help them.
Is it like investigation?
Yeah, investigation would be what it would be. Yeah.
Mine is a +8, so if someone want to give us the help action.
I will assist Eclipse in investigating.
Just out of curiosity, does Farewell have proficiency in that?
No, but my passive investigation is 18.
Okay, good to know. Good to know.
Do you give me guidance as well, or?
As you have very politely asked for it, yes.
Yeah, and yeah, it's a. This is an active task, so yes, she can ask for it.
Yeah.
So yeah, as you've asked for it, I will mutter a little prayer and give you guidance.
Yeah.
18.
Okay, sure. Look, kind of staring through the pipes. You're kind of like, okay, so if that pipe's going around there, and that pipe's going around there, then we can duck under that and go through there. And so you're kind of looking through the pipes and trying to say, okay, I think I've got the way to go through based on this, but we'll have to adapt as we go along. You're pretty sure that you have a route, so congratulations.
Yeah.
And you presumably set off towards it.
Yes.
Okay. Glory, can I have just a spell casting roll? So the same spell, the same roll that you would do to fire a spell.
Of course. That is a 28.
28. Okay.
She's a monster.
I rolled a 19.
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay. Yeah, you're going to be fucking with me a bit, Glory.
Of course I am.
Your familiar suddenly speaks to you in the head, and it goes, "Found it. Found it, I have. Feel my fear." And you know that it's using its nightmare gaze at the moment on this creature. And it goes, "The demon does not respond to fear. It's trying to evade me. Looks like a human, but it's degrading, rotting. Looks more like a zombie. Yes. Yes, I can keep up with it. Seek my presence, mistress. Seek me, and then you'll know where he is. I've got it now. I can keep this up.
I will reach out
I can
to
keep
see
this up,
where it
Otto.
is.
Yeah. Do me an Arcana roll.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Get me going today. That is a nice 24.
24, nice. In that
This
case,
dice is in my good graces right now.
in that case, Glory, I get to reference one of my all-time favorite films, as in your head, a little blip appears, knowing where your familiar is, and the blip is getting closer and closer and closer.
It's coming.
Oh, we're about to get fucking Xenos.
Okay. Let's take a look at that. Yeah, let's look at that initiative. Yeah, that would be it.
Can we roll again with advantage when we know it's coming?
No. That was the initiative for the whole thing. This thing is very very well done, and
I would like to, if I have a chance, to see if I can climb up on any of the pipes to get a bit higher and a better vantage point.
I
sure,
will-
sure.
If
You want to have the high ground?
Yes,
I will want
Anakin,
to
I
hide-
have the high ground.
I was about to say as well. It's coming, Anakin. I have the high ground.
I will want to hide Simon quickly if I can.
Yep, you all get a round of preparation.
Okay.
It's not a surprise round because damn, he knows where you are. But yeah.
I'm also going to unsling off my back something I've never used yet, my crossbow.
Sure.
Hey, you've used
Uh,
crossbow before.
I
Why?
don't think I have, but knowing this thing adapts, I want as many different things to throw at it as possible.
Strong. Yeah, I like
I want to cast Blink.
it. Blink. Sure.
Again.
Mark off that spell slot. Blink it is.
Spells.
Oh, before she does that, as Farewell's action, he will cast Beacon of Hope on the entire party.
You have higher initiative than me, that's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you, for the duration, each target has advantage on Wisdom saving throws and Death saving throws, and regains the maximum number of hit points from any healing.
Okay.
Nice.
Good to know.
An item will simply aim his gun towards where the direction is, and he will, because he's already got his rights still up. He's simply going to prepare, because he has a finesse point. He's going to prepare the Lumion discharge, the fire.
Oh, okay. Wow. Okay. Yeah. So
He's going full extreme
choice.
prejudice. Question: Has he, now that he knows that it looks like it's rotting, has he gone into the hunt?
No. He
Oh,
hasn't.
Might
interesting.
do when he sees it.
It might not be a tree undead.
Yeah,
That is also very true.
could be just looking.
Your
that
familiar
way.
has described it as a demon.
Yeah.
He said it was a demon,
Uh,
but it looks like a
Definitely a
human that's
vessel.
rotting.
25 on my stealth roll, by the way, Simon, for hiding.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you've managed to. You look around and immediately you see a pipe that seems to, be. You can press yourself up against it, and as you do so, it's cold. It vibrates in a rather not very nice way, and it's a bit greasy. But yeah, you are stealthed. You are stealthed. You think that any approaching person would have trouble seeing you. Yeah, definitely. Anything else before it gets its turn?
I will
Does it go
disguise self
first?
and make myself look like some other, just not myself,
Okay.
like just some other halfling, just in case. Just trying to see if she can pretend she's not who it thinks she is.
Sure.
I will also attempt that, and I will look like random human.
Sure. Hide is a
Sure.
bonus action for you, so you can do that. So your bonus action was
Yeah.
hide. Your main action was disguise self. Knock off the
Yeah.
spell slot. Yeah.
Well,
and-
it's not a spell slot because Hat of Disguise.
Oh, hat of disguise. Ah, yes. Yeah. Okay. Good. Good. Efficient. So you stuff the hat on your head and become what do you both look like?
Random human.
Dwarf actually.
A dwarf. Okay. Yeah.
This is
thematic.
a dwarfen place.
Yeah.
Gonna look like a dwarf.
Sure. And Corinne
Bushy beard dwarf.
looks like just random human. Cool. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
looks
random
like
human.
a random human, but is
Very-
still
very-
stealthed. So yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, still stealth.
My turn. There's a sudden popping in your ears and the world disappears. You can see nothing. You're surrounded by absolute darkness. You can't hear anything. So it's a little disturbing when Farewell gets a scratch on his ear. And even though you can't hear anything, you can't hear the pipes, you can't hear the susurrus. I love that word. The susurrus around you goes to absolute silence, and for a moment, Farewell, you feel like you're back in the void again. And then something scratches your ear, and you hear, "Farewell, bare bones, power source divine, servant of the raven, strong, mind, yes, but prone to identity, will. Yes, that is how we can heal the others. Probably the first to get rid of."
Oh, that's unnerving.
And that was heard by Farewell, Eclipse, and Cora.
Yeah. But we don't know that it scratched his ear.
No.
Okay.
No, only Farewell knows that. Take 1
Is it
point
my turn?
of slashing damage, Farewell, and
Okay, actually, I do want to. Can I potentially do something?
if yes, because you heard him say something, so you can assume that he's nearby.
Yeah. Can I, knowing where I am up on this pipe, if I've got up in a pipe, I would have kept Farewell and everyone really within for relatively close range and visible.
You remember where Farewell was, yeah?
Yes, I would like to try and remember where he was and aim 5 feet to his right.
Okay.
And Eldritch Blast.
Okay, so this is blind fighting. Okay,
Yeah.
that you're doing.
This could be a really bad idea.
Yeah. So with every
But I
attack.
feel like instinctively she might just be like, "Fuck, it's here."
Okay.
I was gonna say, are we initiative or not, or?
Actually, yeah, that's a good point. You can't really do that as a reaction, Kate, but you can do it on your initiative.
No, that's fine.
Okay,
yeah,
so
that's fine.
reactions to this then. Let's start off with actually, being that it's its turn, we'll start off with the one person who just felt something kind of scratch his ear. Farewell, do me an intelligence check.
I'm glad I put points into that now. 16.
All right. Yeah. You've just identified that you've been attacked, albeit not much of an attack. At 16, you kind of feel like a clawed digit, like a finger, just nicked your ear for some reason. And I'll give you, being that you know that this is a kind of opportunity in and out, I'll give you an attack of opportunity. What would you like to do?
Question.
Mm-hmm.
I have Warcaster as my feat.
You do.
And that allows me to use a spell.
Yeah.
As an attack of opportunity. But I'm also maintaining concentration. So I can't remember on Beacon of Hope.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for telling me. When you got the 1 point of damage, you have to do a DC 10 concentration check, which is a
I get him.
A Constitution saving throw.
Wasn't that how I knocked out a guy from his thingamagog with fucking a Goliath lightning shock?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. That is a 13.
Sure. Beacon of Hope is still up. Go for your Warcaster attack of opportunity.
Cool.
So you find. So Nick, you can cast anything as long as it doesn't require concentration to keep. So if you cast another concentration spell, that will take precedent, but you can cast any other spell, if that was what your question was.
That was. Thank you so much, Corinne. I am going to give it a second level guiding bolt of the art.
Okay. Let me just check something because there's a very particular challenge here.
Is it to damage it to remove the
no,
darkness?
The word is, does your spell say a creature that you can see within range? And it says here, word for word,
a creature of your choice.
A creature of your choice within range. So a flash of light streaks towards a creature of your choice within range. Make a ranged spell attack against the target. On a hit, he gets the radiant damage. Okay, you're blind fighting, so it is with disadvantage, but roll a ranged spell attack with disadvantage.
Yeah, because I assume this the creature we're fighting is not blinded.
Yep.
No.
I'm going to use my inspiration from last session to cancel out that disadvantage.
I like it. Go for it.
Smart.
Motherfucking natural 20.
Oh! Oh my god! Oh my god. Okay. Roll me 8d6, dude. No, more than that. It's 10d6. You did it at level 2.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Okay, I don't have. Okay, This is gonna take me a little bit, but hold on.
Or we can do.
Bring out the d6s.
Quick question.
Well, sorry, it's 66, and then that's doubled.
Okay.
Or you can roll double the amount of dice, so which is normally better.
But it's up to you, of
Yeah, it's
course.
up to you. The one thing about this farewell, did you use your knife to cast this?
I would have had it in my hand because his own fear of like basically having something come out, he would have just as an automatic would have just gone woof and had the knife in his hand ready to.
Okay.
Ready to fight.
So roll your damage,
Okay, I'm going to start rolling.
and we'll do what we'll do.
$32, $36, and this is the last one. I said 36, didn't I?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. 42, 44 points of radiant damage plus another. No, it's just that. So yeah, 42 points of radiant damage, and he glows like a Christmas tree.
Okay, so thankfully in this magical darkness he doesn't glow. Strangely, they still get advantage on him because of mechanics, but yeah. So
It's god bullshit. I don't have to explain anything.
yeah, yeah, as you say, it's divine. You hear so the following people: Kate, Farewell, and Eclipse. Sorry, Cora, Farewell, and Eclipse. Mixing players and characters there. You hear this scream, and it's this sinuous scream. It's like this. It's like feedback from a speaker scream, and you feel it in your head as this thing gets damaged, and suddenly the creature, as it's retreating, and it's clearly retreating, does say as a free action, "A planar key! He has a planar key! Kill him! Kill Farewell Barebones!"
Oh, son of a bitch!
What's a planar key?
His knife.
Next up, so that was on its round. Next up is Eclipse. There's a creature that is darkness and silence. You know that it's been hit. You can deduce it from the fact that you can hear its words. But where it
Don't
is...
don't worry, Simon. I've already got a solution for that, and I'm gonna bring up detect thoughts.
Ooh, I like it.
Ooh,
okay,
nice.
sure. Yeah. Oh, here we go. You're starting to stretch. Starting to flex your level 7 muscles now, and
Level 8.
level 8 muscles now. You switch on detect thoughts, and bing, there you are.
Yeah. Which is
He's attempting.
with advantage.
That's
Hidden.
well, no, you can't attack him. That your detect thoughts was your action.
Oh yes.
Yeah, but you can detect him now. He is trying to run out of the 30-foot range that you have.
I will tell everybody through the
Lovely
my
badges we have.
badge where he is.
Sure, you describe to the best of your ability which direction he is. Next up is Aiden. Oh god, I hate this. I hate this because you said what he prepared, and what he prepared is a fucking AoE spell. He knows the rough direction, and he's about to go shotgun on this guy. Okay.
Yeah, he will basically step forward, so he knows that basically he's not going to hit anybody else that he's allied with. But then, yeah, point the bad end at the even badder man, and he's just going to fill the air with radiant fire damage. It is a dexterity saving throw that needs to be made.
Yeah, and I've just brought Lumen Discharge up for the viewers as well. Ouch.
It is a mean one.
Ooh, okay.
Can
This dude is not undead. Let's roll.
Yeah.
Right, so the...
I'm sorry, I don't know
Solid
what the
dice.
DC is. I don't have it written down.
No, it's okay, I've got his DC here. Yep, and that's not gonna do it. He gets hit.
More D6s to roll.
Yeah, even though he has
More D6.
even though he had advantage on the dex save, you hit him by 1 point.
Does Aiden, for Lumion Discharge, does Aiden add his dex modifier?
Yes, it says there
On top of
4d6 plus dex radiant fire damage. So
5,
yeah,
5, 9, 12, plus another 5. So that's 17 points of radiant and fire damage that goes up his poop.
okay. So yes, this is a dual damage type. You need to have resistance from both to be resistant. You need to have immunity from both to be immune.
You can't complain about weapons you designed.
Oh no, I'm not complaining. I kitted you guys out with the ability to deal with what the nightmare I'm about to throw at you. So yeah, okay. So he hits him, and the only reason you know that is that this scream of pain courses through. Well, he doesn't know actually. Aiden doesn't know.
We don't hear this though, right? We're in silence.
It's in your head. This is all telepathically.
Oh, okay.
So, you know what I said? Only certain people can hear. Aiden doesn't hear it. Farewell, Cora, and Eclipse hears it. And Glory is getting a report. On her turn, will get a report from her familiar, who's watching the whole thing.
Good.
So, that was Aiden. Wow. Cora.
Yeah, Cora is going to shimmy along this pipe that she's on, thinking that that we're in the shed again in darkness, like we've been before, and so she is going to edge away from where she knows the main group was to try and get herself out of the darkness. So she's going to go her 25 feet, if she can, along a pipe, or over a pipe and down a pipe, or whatever she needs to do, away from...
Do me an acrobatics check.
I need to stop rolling that dice. Okay,
Please say it's a 1 and you can re-roll it.
No, it's a 10. I mean, it's an 8, so it's a 10.
Okay. Yeah, okay, you hit the DC for the 10.
It doesn't have to be graceful. I just need to move.
Less than 10, I was giving you D6 bludgeoning damage, but
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sure.
I did tell you where he was, by the way.
Yeah.
So you know.
Oh yeah, you know the direction to go
Yeah,
in.
but I'm not. I know. Yes, I suppose I could head in that sort of direction as well, actually, to get out of the thing. Yes.
That's the only direction available
basically
to you, really, Cora.
That's fine. I need to get. I want to stay close-ish to the group, but I also want to see the damn thing so I can hit him.
Okay. At the end of your movement, being that your movement is slightly slowed by the terrain and all the rest of it,
and it's only 25 feet anyway.
Yeah. You go about 15 foot negotiating past things, and suddenly the world springs back in, the susurrus of the pipes, and a little floating light, little dancing light, is right in front of you as you come out, and you go from absolute darkness to light for a second, You blink, but you do see that this figure, that, yeah, he looks like the dead researcher you saw upstairs. Well, he's dressed the same way, but it's true. He looks like he's melting, rotting, sloughing away. Even the clothes are rotting, and currently they're on fire, but instead of setting fire like clothes do, you can see the unmistakable marks of burnt flesh. So the clothes are his skin.
Okay. I as he looks dead, I will toll the dead.
Okay,
So yeah,
sure.
and he in theory is injured. Is that right, DM?
Oh,
So
he is injured. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
are you fucking kidding me? Okay.
was
Sure.
that a wisdom save he just did?
I rolled a 1 and a 3.
Nice.
So he's going to use the only thing he has available to him at this point, and he's going to use anticipate. Oh no, shit! He can't. So he hit your fucking familiar, not you. Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Roll for damage. Roll 2d12.
2d12. Come on. Oh, one was a 12. A 12 and a 6.
Oh, great.
Do I kill him instantly? So 18.
18.
Well, yeah, like 12 and a 6. So that says 18, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, 18 points of necrotic damage.
Hang on, I just need to tweet something out a second.
You will not kill Farewell.
My best buddy protects me.
Yeah.
I have a question, Simon.
Mhm. Yeah.
How does this darkness work when I'm on the ethereal realm?
Ooh, that's a good question.
Oh yeah, because you
I
blinked.
think the answer
You
is
blinked
doesn't.
Wow. Okay. I will recap for you on your turn as
Yeah,
to what you saw.
I thought you might,
Yeah.
so I saved that one.
I think that's fair because I don't want people making decisions based on what they hear for you. So I'll do it on your turn. 18 damage, you say, yeah?
Yeah.
He had 19 hit points.
Well, he's still alive then, isn't he? So what's he moaning about?
Oh, what I'm moaning about is how quickly you've managed to reduce this solo creature that I designed down to 1 smegging hit point.
That was mostly Farewell, to be fair. He did about 40 damage.
But
Yeah.
you've been playing with us for how long without thinking about that?
No, it was. To be fair, it was a natural 20 on
Yeah,
a spell.
And he used he used his inspiration at just the right point. So yeah, no, fair play to you. I mean, you know, all joking aside, you know, I may be acting ratty, but I'm a happy bunny that you that I didn't TPK you just with the starting encounter in this place. So yeah.
This is just the weakening encounter, right?
Oh yeah. This is what I call the attrition encounter. So
yes, it is. Yes, totally.
You focus on him, Cora, and you suddenly. No, actually, I'm not going to describe it. This is yours. How does Cora cast Toll the Dead?
Oh man, I never think about how these spells work.
I mean, is it something that is her will? Does she? I mean,
yeah,
she's
I think
using
she just
necrotic
takes
damage.
all
Does
of
she
that.
channel her darker thoughts? What does she do?
Yeah, she absolutely just she thinks about the fact that this thing wants to kill them all, and especially kill Farewell. Has just told everyone to go and whoever minions he has to murder her friend. And
best friend scorn.
She takes
I like
all that kind of hate and that death will that he has, and she throws it back at him, basically.
Like
If
it.
you want
I like
death,
it.
I'll give you death.
Yeah,
kind of
and
thing.
with that, this wave of hatred and anger just flows from your body and does this incredible amount of damage. And you watch as the clothes continue to rot and his form sloughs off him like a snake shedding his skin. And underneath is a humanoid creature, naked as far as you can tell. But no signs of classical nudity, just this shiny, kind of granite grey skin, uniform in colour, no patination. These long, spindling fingers with these black, needle-like claws that seem to have some sort of crusted blood on them. The knees on this creature are very strange. As it runs, the knees are bending backwards and forwards. And you notice, just at a glance, you're suddenly taking a whole lot in, just in this moment of absolute emotional clarity, that you have a feeling that the arms can do that too. And you see the head, and the head is just a mouth. No eyes, no nose, no ears. This is just a kind of orb that's head-shaped, skull-shaped, with this same shining, dark grey flesh across it uniformly. No sign of fat, it's all pulled taut and the skin is rubbery. And the same jet black nails, oily almost, is reflected in the teeth. As you hit it and it sloughs away, it hisses, its mouth opening. And that's where you hear this terrible sinuous sound as this strange mutant just dashes further, close to death. You can see there's signs of necrosis even on its flesh. There's no patination on the skin, but there is from the various scars and shit that you guys have given it. As it runs off with one hit point, and these blackened veins creeping through its body.
I think I'm next on the initiative.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because I got my attack was an opportunity to attack, not my turn.
It was.
Yeah.
So
Cora's gonna keep kind of pointing in his direction, if you know what I mean. Like,
sure.
Like she's blasted out with her arm, and she's just staying.
No one
with,
can
like,
currently see you.
I know.
I would say that they know that he was hit because they heard the scream.
Out of the
yeah.
Yeah. But if they came out of the the ball, they would see she's pointing in a direction of where he is.
For your information, Cora, as well, you can see this shadow serpent winding round his legs like a cat that wants to be fed, with these really dark, this kind of dull, glowing but dull. Did we say they were red or purple, Glory? Eyes.
Oh, I see. Glory's thing.
Glory's
thing is round her. Oh, okay.
And it's, as I say, it's like a cat that wants to be fed. There's almost a joyful movement to this thing as it's winding around this demon's legs. Farewell.
I'm going to cast now. It technically says creature, but we're in magical darkness, right?
Mm-hmm.
Is it possible that I could target a place that in there and just take a random shot and see if I get lucky?
Yeah, that's the nature of blind fighting, is that it's your best guess.
Cool. So yeah, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to almost like lay it down, Sacred Flame, as much as you can with it, and just hope I get lucky.
Okay. You're kind of picking a direction. Ordinarily, you'll be able to hear footfalls and you'll be able to gauge a depth. Instead, you're having to use Dead Reckoning on. It's been X seconds since he nicked my ear with his finger. If he's moving at what Oh yeah, I know. You know the direction, but you don't know the distance. And at the moment, I'm going to say I haven't heard anything from the other players that would be able to give you the distance. So again, this is just blind fighting rules, so it's still just disadvantage. Now the problem is that disadvantage doesn't exist with Sacred Flame because it's a saving throw. So I'm going to just convert that to advantage for him, but he already got advantage, so that's kind of wasted. Yeah. So you aren't really suffering from blind fighting, you're just suffering from him doing what he does. So let's roll. Okay. And remind me, is it a will save?
Dexterity saving throw DC 17.
You know that Sacred Flame has a little bit of an area of effect. It's only enough to encompass one person, but it means that you don't have to hit precisely. You just have to throw it in the way. You also know that this guy is a moving target. So you make a bit of a dead reckoning, Farewell, that if you put it a little further than you expected him to be, he should run straight into it. And that's exactly what he does. Roll for damage.
2d8 plus 5 radiant damage.
He's
Nice.
very dead. He has 1 hit point.
He's got 1 hit point. Yeah. Roll if you want, just to find out how much it was. But you just shot this asshole.
17 points of radiant damage.
Yeah. So the only person who gets to appreciate this is Cora. So Cora, you watch.
Oh, she appreciates it.
Oh, actually, the other person who can appreciate this is Glory. As we've already pointed out, she can see all this from the ethereal realm. So Glory and Cora, this is what you
I'm
see.
not getting hurt by this.
You both see the same thing. Glory, you see it as like a ghostly light show, like Aurora Borealis turned into like a TV show.
Yeah. Ooh,
and
pretty.
Oh yeah, it's pretty lovely colors and things going on here. Actually, no, it's all silver because it's you're in Twilight.
Yeah.
Cora, though, after you hit him with this moment of absolute hatred, and this husk falls off him, you can see that these black veins are creeping over his body, and they're like, how is he still standing? And I told you that you saw his teeth when he reacted to the pain and he hissed. As he did that, it was clear that his senses were filled with pain. And you see a familiar silver grey light that you know is Farewell's sacred flame. And this creature just walks straight into it. And with a kind of eerie, alive 1 minute, dead the next, enters the light and just expires. Just falls 90-degree, pratfall straight to the floor. And that's it.
Oh, sorry,
the darkness goes, the silence goes, everybody can see again. Glory just goes whoop for a short while. She might be gone in a minute. Well, actually 6 seconds she might be gone. And yeah, he's just fucking out on the floor.
Question. Yeah. Is Sacred Flame classed as fire? And is he 30 feet from me?
No, it's radiant, I'm afraid.
Oh.
He did not die due to fire.
I was kind of hoping Farewell wouldn't kill him, because then I could pop a firebolt and give Cora a finesse point.
Finesse point. You guys are learning to combo together. I like it.
I very rarely use them, but maybe next one.
Unless he's died within 15 feet of me, at which point I get one.
He's further away than that. If you remember, Cora had to go her whole movement
15 feet away
just to see him. Yeah.
Ah, well.
Yeah.
Sorry, Kate. I tried to get you on.
No, it's all good. I didn't really care. I just suddenly was like, hold on, there's something about fire. I should pay attention. But we're all good. We killed him. That's all that matters.
Yeah, this strange mutant is on the floor.
I fucked up and wasted a spell slot because I just thought, oh fuck, this is gonna be bad. Sad.
Yeah.
In all
It happens.
fairness,
I used
hedged
invisibility
your bets,
before we even
Glory.
got in this place, so
Yeah.
I used one
Yeah.
of my 2 just for a RP moment. So don't worry about it.
And in all fairness,
Uh,
this encounter, it could have gone a number of different ways, and it will, yeah. But you might, in the
I like
fullness of
this
time,
way.
not
This way's
regret your
good.
choices. Yeah. In the
Yeah,
fullness
no,
of time,
exactly.
Glory, you might not regret your choice today.
Mm.
So,
Well, I wasted a 2nd level spell. I only get 2, so
he called out to others. I'm looking around. I'm looking for what he was demanding should kill Farewell, because it wasn't that he was
Oh
going to do
yeah.
it.
no sign of anything else.
do I detect anything?
No, but the people who all got hit. So Cora got hit by proxy.
Oh, did I? I haven't taken any hit points.
Ivan.
Did I get hit?
My point is, you could detect his thoughts. You could hear him because he hit Awen, and Awen had a telepathic channel open when he hit her, and so it instead of hitting you got the benefit of hearing him.
I see.
Even though he didn't know who you were, and you avoided something. I'm not allowed to say, but you avoided something. So,
I just realised I still look like a dwarf. I'm going to change back
sure.
for now.
Yeah, you're Mask of Many Faces, aren't you? So yeah, sure. So yeah, there's this mutant creature, and I would like for Cora, Eclipse, and Farewell to do me an insight check.
Me, yeah.
Oh boy.
Cora, Eclipse, and Farewell.
5.
Okay.
6.
The 2. So rubbish.
Coming out strong.
24.
At least someone knows what we're doing.
Okay.
I do have proficiency in insight.
Nick.
One useful party member. I like this.
Farewell, and farewell only, before we go into the break. You hear a second voice saying, Inquisitor. The Inquisitor has died. Hasn't gained all of his information for us. Let's proceed with caution. Paraxes, dispose of them. And you watch as this mutant is starting to rot right in front of you. In fact, the skin is fizzing. Little bubbles, and there's a smell of brewer's yeast in the air.
Oh, that's deeply worrying. That thing was called an Inquisitor, and they know we killed it, and they can shit.
Yeah, definitely Abyssal.
We are in real trouble.
We need to find what sort of portal or something is open and close it real quick.
We need to find this guy first. And I will actually yell this time because I just need. And I'll be like, we're here. Show us where you are, quick. They already coming to fucking kill me.
Yeah, sure. You get a message that asks you to describe your surroundings. You describe your surroundings, and he guides you to his vessel, his hiding place from there. And with that, we are going to take a break. See you all soon, guys. And welcome back, everybody. As we left off before, they had managed to kill this strange creature that was called an Inquisitor by a strange disembodied voice that was gathering some information with every attack on Cora, Nicholas, and Farewell. Glory managed to blink out to safety, avoiding getting scratched herself, and Aiden, although he managed to pull off one of the features of his magical item, was able to do a lot of damage, but himself not getting hit. So, when we left off, Farewell, using the magical spell Shout a Lot, managed to contact the victim, the hunted one, that was hiding in a nearby pressure vessel. And he has guided you all to his hiding spot. And sure enough, you can see one red lever, two white levers, two red levers, and this kind of needle that goes backwards and forwards. And under his direction, press yourself between a set of pipes and this large vessel. And there's a door, an inspection door, where the handle has been broken off. Well, it's been unscrewed. And inside is a human, late 20s, and he's can't quite tell the original skin color, but he's covered in grease and soot and muck in general. He has close cropped sandy hair. He seems to be a wizard. You're pretty certain. Book hanging from the hip, wand in a holster to his side. He's got a large gash up his left leg that he's nursing, and he's got these wide, terrified eyes. As you open the door and one of the dancing lights just goes inside, and looking at the light at first, he's absolutely terrified. And he says, "You're here. Where have you seen it? Is it here?"
Yeah, we killed it.
It's not here anymore.
You killed one? But
Yeah.
There are more. coming.
Yes,
Our boys here were really flashy, and it was such a light show. Very pretty, you see.
you're a new element. They haven't had time to study you. You're a rogue element.
Are they researchers?
What? What?
Are they you said that had time to study. Are they researchers?
Oh, I suppose, by the strictest definition, they must be. They do study. They observe. And then they adapt.
They've studied some of us.
Okay. In that case, I can only give you the advice that our head of security gave us before he expired. If they know about you, act unpredictable. You see, they can adapt and anticipate your movements. That means at times you think you've got them, and then even though they're not even looking, they will just duck out the way last minute. Or know what it is that will block your spell, or they'll just put themselves in a state of mind where they can resist domination. It depends on what you're good at, you see. I, personally, I'm a field mage. Well, I had enough time to... And you can see, he's exhausted. I had enough time to recover. I would...
Let me look at that leg first. You carry on talking, and let me see if I can...
He looks at the leg as if it's occurred to him
We've shut
for
the
the
door
first
behind
time.
us, right?
Yeah, sure. The door doesn't shut properly because he's unscrewed the handle, but one of you could, like, hold it shut.
Aiden will do that.
Sure. He looks at the leg
Yes.
as if it's the first time he's seen it bleeding and goes, "Oh, yes. Thank you."
Tell us more about what you were researching here.
He looks at your symbols and says, "No gold on your badges." I'm surprised she didn't come herself. Why didn't she come herself? Why didn't she bring the...
You mean Renata?
Who?
Well, the boss, Renata. Why? Are you the Vanguard?
Does she know about this?
Well, of course she does. Oh.
I mean, does she know that it's gone to shit?
That's certainly one way of putting it.
I guess that they must have some way of obscuring her sight. They would have...
We also don't know if
they might
everyone
know
with
that.
these badges is good.
Well,
what do you mean?
Or what even good is.
We'll operate for the moment. That I think that with the researchers here, knowing should we call them researchers? I don't know. Monsters, abyssals. With the abyssals here being able to...
They're demons. Just say demons.
The demons here might know of the boss's ability of scrying and sight, which they might have turned off as the first thing when they took over this place. That would be the best thing for them to do, I assume.
She was present at some harvestings recently. She was as intrigued as some of the chief researchers to... she was intrigued that some of them were coming in quiet. It unnerved her. She...
Of course it would.
And you look familiar. Have you visited here before?
Probably.
Who is he saying
We
this to?
believe so, but
He's
we
just
can't
looking at
be
you
sure.
all, and you can tell this guy's exhausted. He looks sleep deprived. He's at this point he's just kind of trying to make sense of it all. He's been living on his wits, and now that he's got a moment where he feels like he's even the slightest bit protected, you can see that he's fighting off sleep.
The adrenaline.
Pretty much. But yeah, they may have observed her, and if she mentioned that she would look in from time to time using... But she would be suspicious of a ward. They must be showing her what she wants to see. All I know is
Someone
that
with
our badges
powerful
don't
enough
work
Yeah.
anymore. Presumably they went to the transmitter and got rid of the emitter in order to keep it so that it's near impossible to detect our badges or to intercept our signal. We have to make a magical item here in the facility. If they corrupted that, that'll be why this. And he pulls his his gold gilded green badge. Why it doesn't work. I'm glad we've got.
Could I have that badge?
He looks at it
If
and
it
kind
doesn't
of.
work.
Why would you need it? It's my badge.
I think it would be wise if you didn't know, but I would appreciate it if I could have it.
I want to insight check this dude.
Okay. Based on the things he said already, yeah, go for it. Give me a roll.
I'm just like, well, and also the fact that he was suddenly reluctant to give over a badge that he's just told us is a useless piece of metal that doesn't work anymore. I'm just not sure. Like, he's the only survivor, and I don't know.
Go on.
Just don't know.
Yeah, go for the roll.
That is 13.
Okay. At 13, you get the feeling. Well, let me give you a modern day parallel. You're stuck in a dangerous situation. Somebody tells you that their phone doesn't work. You tell them to give you their phone. That's exactly how it feels.
You're a mage. You can cast spells to do most of what that badge can do anyway.
I can't send messages longer than about 1,000 feet.
And considering that we're probably the only living people here,
What do you want it for?
You-
Just out of curiosity, I don't disagree in principle. It doesn't have any function at the moment, but just in case it does start working, I'd like to be able to call for help.
I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure yet, but something tells me it'd be useful to have. It's different to ours, and I just feel it will be useful. And I don't tend to like taking things from dead people if I can avoid doing it. It's a bit rude.
His eyes grow wide as if to say, "You're going to take it off my dead body," and
Cora face palms.
he's just he's kind of wired at that point, and he goes, "Well."
Oh no! Sorry, no, no, not your dead body. Not, I mean the other dead bodies. Not that you're going to be a dead body. You're going to be fine.
Oh, okay.
I just look at Cora like, how did we get here?
Okay. Well, considering
Well.
I've spent the last 2 days being spoken to by my dead colleague, that beast, recalling every damned memory that he had. Here, and he hands you the badge.
Hold on, that
Thank
thing
you.
took over your colleague?
Henry, he ate him. That's what those ones
And
can do.
absorbed his memories?
Some of them. We think it's something that happens when they eat the brain. They're able to draw on skills, memories, normally things that are triggered by sight or context. I made the mistake of shouting, "Go away," and the memories that he had remembered my voice, and so he started to recall conversations we had and started talking to me about those conversations. He recalled the name of my sister. She's quite far away. She's doing a scholarship in Skara at the moment, but
Oh,
He-
what
he-
city is she in?
why does that bloody matter?
Yeah, I was
He
gonna
said
say,
her name. Her name.
All right, well,
That,
no more
that
personal
beast knows it, and if
conversations
he knows it, then his
Who's
master,
He? Who's he? Oh,
the creature you supposedly killed, And if he knows it, then his master knows it.
Who's his master? Can we stop? Can you explain actually what you know instead of just giving us these cryptic pronouns with us
I'm
really
answering your
knowing
questions
what
as they
you're on
come up. You want it from the start? Here it is.
about.
So, my name is Abe. Abernathy Rutherford, full name, but everyone calls me Abe. I'm a shield mage. I graduated, Masters in Force.
Can we just skip forward a little bit?
I'm telling you what I do here.
I think this is important. Farewell, let him speak.
I was in containment. So when the demons got pulled through the portals, they got pulled through into a container made and bolstered by us. My kind. Masters of Force.
Mm-hmm.
They would thrash around inside the containers trying to burst our containers. We, of course, made the mistake of having inches thick glass so that we could observe them. We never thought that these thrashing beasts would suddenly start to use it to look at us. But they never used to get as far as the window. They would be able to see through them momentarily, but mostly they would be thrashing against the walls, the ceiling. If any of them could identify the door to the chamber, they would try to throw tentacles at it, spit acid at it, but all resistant, all hitting my shields. So then we would harvest them. I'm sure you've been briefed on that, the procedure.
No.
I suppose you don't really need it for a rescue, do you? We were harvesting the demons at the point of death. Some sort of substitutionary construct that they have. Rather than a soul, you destroy a demon. Whatever their life essence, life force is, spills out. You're able to collect it in the same way that you're able to kill them. If you were to kill a person, if you were so inclined, if you were some evil person, you would be able to collect Malefactorum. He says Malefactorum. I want an Arcana check from those who know it.
Yes. I do like Arcana checks.
It's rather lovely and strong coffee.
A solid 21.
Nice. I know you've got some pretty busted modifiers on that, because this is what she does. Malefactorum, also known as Red Residuum. If you guys had talked to each other, Glory would have stood a chance to tell you what it is. Glory knew roughly what it was before, and once she got proficiency in Enchanter's tools, she knew more about it.
Well, we did talk about it in a few episodes ago, didn't we?
Yeah, you did, but by that time you were already hot on the trails of stuff, and I was going to revisit it at some point.
Yeah.
I was going to give Glory a moment of.
It was like the
epiphany.
very first session.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I've sewn things together right from the start of this story.
Yeah, no, it's awesome.
So, what Glory
didn't know
knows
each other.
of Red Residuum, Malefactorum. Malefactorum is a way of producing residuum without mining it out of the ground. Certain substances, rock formations, ley lines, things like that, can create a physical manifestation of power. You can also produce it, albeit at a painfully slow rate, through arcane means. This is regular residuum. And then it's used for enchanting, to tie magic to the physical plane, and without using a soul to cast magic. Of course, not just people with souls can cast magic. There are devils, demons, fae without souls that can cast magic, and they cast it through whatever substitute for souls they have. Now, because the soul is the way that you are able to enact your will on reality,
One
and
second,
what
my
we call
mum is
magic,
calling.
you
Hello?
you find out that old necromancers and dark mages were able to harvest life at the point of death, harvest the soul, and pass it into the residuum process, and they found that the yield was greatly increased. Kill someone and use their soul to power the generation of residuum, and you'll get more of it. Now, the problem is that killing someone is bad. Sometimes it's necessary, but it is bad. The one thing that no good religion or good faction would allow is to kill people, even orcs and goblins, to harvest their souls to make this stuff. This stuff is so bad that the gods painted it red to show how dangerous and how wrong this is. And that's from the gods. The gods said, yeah, when the first time somebody made this shit, we made it red. We showed that it was different. It was wrong. So you know that even Fenrir, even to his worst enemy, would not do this because it's wrong. You're effectively binding that soul, or parts of it, fractions of it.
Yep.
Even as power hungry as your family is, even excellence wouldn't do this. Now, they wouldn't do it to something with a soul, but they might do it to something without one. And what you've just heard from Abe, who only seems to be a containment technician, like a clean room technician. So as far as possible, an innocent bystander. It looks like they were doing this process on demons as a ethical means to use the process. That's a split second. Yeah, as he says, Malfactorum. That's what you just flashes through your head. So, as I say, they would bring them in. We would have summoners that had put ritual circles on one of the surfaces of the container. They would be summoned straight into the container. They would be surrounded by our shields, and then after that, that's where they would be harvested. The process would get started, and then they would be slaughtered, and there would be one less demon left in existence, and we would have more enchanting supplies to be able to do what we need to do.
That does explain how Osgol is selling so much Residium, considering it's supposed to be an import.
Well, you don't know the exciting part. We found a way of refining it. You see, the residuum, the red residuum, it stays red permanently, no matter what you do to it, if you use a sentient soul. But if you use it demon, you can actually purify it over time. And that's a far more efficient process than making the gold residuum. And yeah. Okay. Yeah, no problem. I will wrap up here. Corinne's gonna have to go and meet her family. Huh? Okay. Yeah. Sure. We'll wrap up here. This is mostly intelligence for the rest of the session. So yes, it's a game changer. Don't you realise that?
It is.
It means that
You know that whole not being a corpse thing. I can't believe I'm saying this out loud, but I'm really considering rescinding that. This is evil. This is pure evil.
you should have been briefed. They shouldn't have just sent you in here. I had
No one sent us in here. There's no one coming to rescue you. They don't give a shit about you. They're probably coming to try and kill us.
And burn this place to the ground along with everything fucking in it.
You weren't sent here, but you're part of the organization. You've got the patches.
You took our memories away. What did you think we were going to be doing here again?
Oh, good God, you're them.
I have to fill in the blanks now, because if you don't, I don't think I can be responsible to what happens to you next.
Sure, I'm a fucking dead man anyway. Yes, I wasn't here when you arrived. I was taking leave. I didn't recognize your faces. I recognized the descriptions. Yes, our chief researcher did do something to you. He's the chief summoner, after all. He summoned an illithid variant, milked it, was able to use the Ica to remove you from being a nuisance.
Why?
I'll give it to you in a nutshell. I thought that this was wrong when I started. But then, my family have many stories of the time of Orcus, when the Celtolans ran thick, not with blood, with the undead. The plants turned undead. Everyone that went in there to try and make a difference just added to their numbers. Heroes of Raven's Ridge were the only people who were able to make a stand. It took angels sacrificing themselves to hallow that land. It weakened the gods for the rest of eternity.
And that justifies summoning demons from another
Yes,
plane
it damn
to,
well does.
to slaughter them for profit?
No, not for profit. Do you think that we throw this shit at Duke Ostermark's wars? He's got an offshoot of the technology. Sure, we had to shut him up somehow. But this is for when it happens again. If we showed you our armory, we have devices there that would blow entire fucking groups of undead apart. A demon of Orcus, one of his lieutenants, could stand right in front of you, and as long as you knew how to use just the basic education of using a magical weapon, you could point this thing at it and turn it into a fucking smear. All the time we're looking out for the next hero. We've got so lucky so far that somebody has either been reckless enough or stupid enough or weird enough to want to go up against those odds. And even then, luckier still that they somehow managed to get through it all. Heroes are not a sustainable resource. What we need is weaponry held by a government that is going to be able to respond responsibly and in a timely manner with trained troops against the other realms.
Tear a hole in the plains and you suck things out.
No, we make a regular summoning portal. It closes back down perfectly.
But it's not, has it?
What do you...
Otherwise, we wouldn't be having this conversation. You
If
wouldn't
it-
have
Well,
all
no,
your
it
friends
wasn't.
dead.
It wasn't the summoner. It wasn't the summoner. We made a mistake, but the mistake was something that was unprecedented. Let me start from scratch.
But no, just
When they came through,
because I'm afraid if you talk, I will stab you.
well, maybe,
Where is
maybe
the
not.
port?
The portals are
Where is
up
the portal?
in the generator room.
How do we get there?
That's where they are.
I
And also,
didn't ask where they were.
there's only one portal. Let me tell you. As I say, at first we were snatching any old demon. The portals were set so that creatures of a certain power signature, arcane signature, would not be able to be pulled through. We used their reflex of being summoned and resisting summoning as a form of filter. And true enough, we only used to get the foot soldiers of the Blood War. Then the quiet ones turned up. As I say, they'd spend their time watching the window with those eyeless faces. And that would be it. They'd die. We'd harvest. Done.
You truly think them that stupid? You
Well,
never once suspected it? Please.
we were studying it. We were studying this phenomenon. That's why Renata turned up herself. But then the first one came through, and the first thing it did was dispel force field. Killed my colleague outright, Henry. Couldn't contain it, but it didn't attempt to get out of the chamber. Instead, it turned round to the summoning circle and anointed it with its blood. We suspect that some sort of standing spell was in the creature's blood because it basically tore itself to pieces, tore its chest open, and bathed this thing with as much of its blood as it could. After that, the summoners had no control over the circle. Demon after demon came in, started taking them out, and the bodies would start to melt and fizz and ooze until the chamber was like a fucking fish tank. And then one of them came through. Tank was almost full of this goo. At that point, we could barely see it.
Goo? What color was this goo?
Just a kind of weird grey flecked with black. And then it must have had some sort of sonic effect, some sort of thunderous damage. Blew the window right out. It's like 8 inches thick, and it went out like it was a crystal chandelier. It was
Of course it did.
gone.
You summoned something stronger than you were.
After that, there was just summoning after summoning after summoning. At first, we thought we had it in hand. We managed to hold them off long enough for the security detail to come. Even brought some of our newly made weapons to bless them. And then darkness.
All for nothing.
Confusion. Silence. Yeah, they bested us. They bested us. As much as
You
I
do
can
not
defend
once
the...
think that your precious little weapons couldn't fall into the enemy's hands? This is why we don't make weapons. This is why we have heroes.
One bit of
because
good
heroes
news. They can't
die.
use them. They can't use them.
Yet.
Oh,
They can't
really?
use them yet.
No. This is one thing that's beyond them. Our weapons can only be used with those who have a soul. None of them have souls. They will have to force people with souls to use them. It's why
And
we
you think
started.
they can't do that? They
Oh, I
already
know
have
they can do that.
studied you.
I know they can do
Then
that. That's why this place needs to be completely destroyed. And everything in it.
how that might not even stop it. We've seen this goo in Ostergard.
No. No, it wouldn't have been there. What goo did you see? And to remind you,
saw
as the
the
DM,
goo.
your goo was lilac.
Yep, but it took over people.
That's... oh. No, that'll just be an abyssal ooze. It's simple enough to manage.
I'm gonna
And
punch
Is
him in
there
the
any-
where do you think
face.
they've been showing up from? It wouldn't happen to be the people experimenting on abyssals.
Well, no. I what I suspect. This is the stuff that turned up in Ostergald. What I suspect is we
Sorry,
did...
Simon. I think halfway through that conversation, Cora will have cracked him by now.
Sure.
She did say she punched him, so I imagine that he gets through his partly through his conversation and then gets
It
a
was
half
his nonchalant way of going, oh no, that's just normal abyssal goo or whatever, and I would have
Sure.
punched him right
You
in the
just
nose.
punched him right in the nose. Yeah. This guy does not know how to fight using martial terms. You crack him one in the nose. He actually brings his hand up in what Glory recognizes as a shield spell, but he doesn't have any spell slots left. So his hands go up, nothing happens, and you just break his nose.
Don't pinch it and don't put your head back. That's not good. It won't help staunch the bleeding. But you stop talking for 30 seconds, guys. I have a different idea other than closing the portal. Maybe we just blow this whole place up. I mean, everything. Just shatter the whole place. Sink it into a great big hole in the floor.
You said these weapons were extremely strong, didn't you? You must have something that will blow this place up.
Yes. Yes, I do.
Well
How
then,
do we know they won't escape, though? We won't be sure.
my understanding, and it's
The
Because
crater...
we
limited
will
in terms of
burn this
planar
place to the
channel,
ground and then
is
drench
what,
it in acid.
and once we destroy the planar, the whatever's anchoring it here, the portal should collapse.
Correct.
And I look down at my knife and I go, and I shout out to him. They called this a planar anchor. Do you have something like this?
It's not a planar anchor. No such thing. There are planar keys.
Planar key.
Oh,
I don't know
sorry,
if I
I
knew
wrote
that
that down
actually. I think
wrong.
I heard it. Yeah, no, I heard it. I wrote down planar key. I did hear that as Cora.
Yeah.
You have a planar key? And you weren't... I give up trying to make sense of it. Which plane does it go to?
Death.
But you can't have a key that goes to death. If you mean the Shadowfell, that's, I suppose, useful.
Close enough.
The Shadowfell has dangerous denizens there, but they have no love for demons. That could be useful. The solution that I have, that our head of security had before he met his end, this entire facility works off a form of magical singularity.
Oh, thank God there's magic. I was starting to lose hope in this place.
It taps directly into the maelstrom.
Excuse me, what?
You know, and I'm going to get you to roll. The maelstrom is effectively the...
No, I know what the maelstrom is. I'm questioning the fact that you have something that's directly connected to it. This is why there are problems with wild mages, because shit goes wrong.
Well, a wild mage on their own, sure, but a wild mage with wizards to be able to regulate it, and it's quite safe. We can turn it up, shut it down, no matter what.
Yes,
It
this all
takes a
looks
team
very safe.
This had nothing to do with our power source. They use this power source in Meridia, for crying out loud. It's not. Yes, it's dangerous, as you know, a fire could be dangerous, but as long as you've got a team of people maintaining it, it's fine.
Yeah, and where is that team now?
Well,
Exactly.
as long as they haven't messed with the safety features of the artifice that we put around it, it's due to shut down in a few hours. You see,
And what will happen when it shuts down?
it'll close, honestly. It's a push-to-go system. If we don't keep it open, it goes through a series of spells that just snuffs out the candle. That's quite possibly the safest part of it ever here. I'll admit, quite happily, the danger that we faced by harvesting. But that's just a large feature. My point is that if we go there and we deliberately disable the safety features and open it up, well, everything here will be cleansed. Pure magic, coursing through everything. It'll reduce it to energy. It'll get sucked back into the maelstrom, leaving behind only a crater. We're far enough away from the nearest village. There should be little to no collateral damage. We'll all die, of course. But duty, right? That's what we're here for.
I punch him again.
He, at this point, he's kind of gone into full-blown depression, and you hit him, and he doesn't even react now. He's just staring into the middle distance, and he just says,
Simon, Glory will mentally nudge her familiar and ask him, how fast would it take you to get to Skullra?
I have done so, mistress. I suspect, being that I can hover over the sea, go there directly, I could get there easily within 4 or 5 months.
Okay, that's good to know. A bit long. Oh well, next plan.
We have 10 minutes left, which triggers a bunch of things.
We do.
I've made some notes along the way here. Cora, when you used your Toll the Dead, you let some rage go. Absolute anger that they would harm your best friend.
Yep.
I would like you
brewing some right now, to be honest.
Yeah, in all fairness, the punching him twice has really helped this along. Give me a charisma check with proficiency.
I don't know which dice to use. Come on, Blue. You're usually my favourite. Oh, for fuck's sake. Right. What was it? Charisma with proficiency. So is that
it's the same as your
charisma and my
It's the same as your spell casting, by the way. Because that's what your spell casting modifier is. It's your charisma plus your proficiency.
Yeah. Well, my modifier or my spell attack, because
your spell attack.
both of those don't seem to work. Oh, it's just my charisma is 5 and my proficiency is 3, but my spell attack on D&D Beyond says 9.
That's because you've got a +1 magical item.
Yeah.
The ring on your finger. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh. So
yeah,
it's 8 then?
+9 actually, the ring helps.
+9. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So 16. That's not so bad.
You hit it. You can feel very strangely in the back of your head that someone very far, far away who is doing something else has suddenly stopped in their tracks and gone, oh? Oh. How fascinating. The next attack that you do is a critical.
Oh, fuck. Please don't shoot dogs with it this time.
Yeah, you will obliterate a dog if you do it. You can just feel the sudden connection to this being of intense power. This being can feel what you're doing.
Sugar daddy coming in clutch. I hear.
Better not punch this guy again.
Yeah. Be careful. Yeah. Also, it's a waste of critical.
I've got to remember that somehow. How am I going to remember that? Okay, I write
Write
this
it down.
Write it up.
yeah, but there's writing it down. There's remembering when I actually am doing an attack. But yeah.
Farewell, write it down.
I have
I was about to say we can all
So
try to remember.
the next
for you
one
as well.
is a critical.
Next,
Yes.
the next attack that you make
Yeah.
will go critical.
Yeah. Yeah.
In a period of quiet, Simon, please by all means carry on and do some stuff. The other, there is one thing I'd like to do before the session drops.
Go for it.
No, that's fine. Do it, my dude.
Do you want to do it now, or do you want to
Do it. Yeah.
finish off what you were doing?
Do it. Yeah.
Okay, I will reach into my pouch and I will pull out a small little gold raven and some incense, and I will light it, and I will spend 10 minutes ritually casting divination.
Sure. Sure.
There.
You don't know when the next beastie is going to come, but the 10 minutes, and I'll ask the others either at the end of the session or just after the session what they did during this 10 minutes. The divination spell goes off.
I basically ask, because it's a single question regarding a specific goal, event, or activity to occur within the next 7 days.
Yeah.
And I will simply, excuse me, well, wonderful time to need to cough. I will seek divine guidance on whether or not it is worth fighting or blowing the place up.
Okay. Right. Okay. This is actually more profound than you think. So this is what happens. You cast the spell. The world goes grey, slows down, and you find yourself presented with a large, dark doorway. You feel like you trust this doorway, that it's part of the spell, and there's a beckoning to step through.
Yeah, I follow through.
You find yourself in a very large hall. Seems to go on forever. There are doorways that lead off to kind of shadowy middle distance. And you realise that as you look around, you can't quite gauge depth. Creatures are, I say creatures, angels, ghosts. Occasionally, a mortal being like yourself are walking in what you think is really far away, but somehow you see them clearly. And the more you open your mind to it, this hall goes on forever and ever. You're seeing people in clothes that's strange, others that is really dated. It's almost like you're looking back in time. Some of them may even be. Your mind expands, filling with this hall, bigger and bigger, stretching out. Your inquisitive nature just reaching and reaching and being filled with so much data until all of a sudden you pull yourself together. You're back. Kind of trying to ignore. And an angel just walks up to you. This big fucking angel just walks straight up to you and says, "Bella, we were unaware of what's going on. She was unaware of what was going on. This was obscured from us. Presumably obscured from hell too. Now we know it all. It terrifies. These mortals are trying to play a game of gods. There are dark portents on the horizon. We've heard of great and terrible things that may come to pass. But this could be. By preparing for these things, they may well make the very thing they seek. Destroy the place at all costs. Destroy it. This is for you. He hands you a scroll. Give it to the one named Glory. You know what to do.
Huh.
When you destroy it, we can use this and take you to safety. And then we shall discuss. He hands you the scroll.
Thank you.
It says, "You have now brought us into the game. For that the mistress can be grateful." And with a blink, you're back in the room. Glory, a scroll has just flashed into Farewell's hands. You see the sigil on it, and it is a scroll of teleportation.
Oh, hell yes!
Not only that, but if you were to use it, Glory, you can go anywhere in the prime material plane as long as you visit.
Huh.
I look at my hands and I'm just staring at them. That was intense. Glory, I think you need this. And I hand her the scroll.
Oh my. How? I'm not gonna question this, thank you.
Glory, this is master inscription to an insane level. You've not seen something. You've not been allowed access to something this fine, even within your home country.
I'm not strong enough yet to directly get them to help, but sometimes if you use the right spell and ask the right people, the gods work in mysterious ways.
Indeed they
I don't
do.
think I have to destroy this place. That's what they told me.
Farewell.
Yeah.
Let's do this.
Yeah.
And I can't think of a more perfect ending.
Let's blow it up.
Yeah. To our first session of the new season.
Woo!
Let's do this.
Woohoo!
Welcome to the Institute, everybody. And thank you for
Lord.
everybody who's been watching. And next week, I will make sure I put a raid together. There's been quite a few things to get through today, not least of which finding that our video didn't work. So we had a bit of a panic before that. Welcome back, everybody. Hello, Rattles. Hello. I think Ron's gone now. But we did have Ronan before. And who have we got? We've got Cactus, Faith in the Glitch.
Cactus.
We've got Windsock, Geeky Tea Party. Hello. Angel of Light as well. I think you came in with the RPG Lab. Big love to the RPG Lab. They've always been. You know what? They're kind of unsung heroes to a certain extent, and I genuinely mean this. In that, you've got your you've got your Critical Role and you've got your high rollers and all the rest of it. But unsung heroes amongst the community are RPG Lab. If you go onto their Discord server, you will find that they have a channel on there called Going Live. So cooperative and communicative that these guys are with the community, they will let anybody go into there and say, yeah, we're going live with our Twitch stream now, come and take a look at our game. I keep forgetting to go in there and say that we're going live. It's something I need to do, but I tend to be quite discombobulated when I come home, have to cook, and then get started with the game. But yeah, the RPG Lab are absolutely amazing. They're fantastic people, and yeah, watch their shows. Their shows are amazing. I'd say unsung heroes of our small D&D Twitch community. So follow them on social media, and they've raided us a number of times. We need to raid them more. Unfortunately, we tend to go on later than they do, so by the time we get to raiding, they've already stopped their particular show. But I cannot recommend them. We love you guys. So yeah, we will see you all next week for a continuing saga. We don't know if we're going to be able to get Rodrigo. Unfortunately, shitty shift work beckons for him. But anything we can do to get him back on side, because he's our boy, we will get him back on side. But it's proving difficult at the moment. But he will always have a place for us here. He is obviously always going to be part of the team. And when he's available to jump back in, he will absolutely do so. Until then, we'll kind of pilot Iden, give him a bit of plot armor, and keep things going, keep things fun. Looking at the message that Kate's just sent me, she's got the same idea as I have, albeit that I've never heard of that service before, but I will look it up. Thank you, Kate.
That
think
makes
it's
three
time...
of us. I've already started looking up alternatives.
We're going to look at alternative
Funnily
video
enough, I use that
sourcing.
for work. I actually use Zoom for work.
Yeah.
That's one of the big things that I use.
We're going to look into a way
Yeah, we
of
looked
getting
into
our
it
video
before,
back.
but I thought it was only paid for. But there seems to be a free version, so you never know.
Hey, if it's a reasonable price, I might just bloody do it, just to not freak out at the beginning of the session. I had to kind of chill out and get my mojo on before saying hello first thing in the stream, because suddenly not realizing you can't have video
Zoom
is stressful.
only has one-to-one meetings for the free version, Kate.
Okay, we'll look at the price.
Oh
So
yeah,
you can't
that's
be
why.
several ones.
Yeah, we'll take a look.
Yeah.
There's plenty of options out there. We'll take a look and see what we can do, and especially considering I want to build on next year, because we're coming up to nearly a year, by the way, that we've been playing this. I was told that by another viewer the other day. He watched our...
Yeah, we're going to do our 24-hour stream on our year anniversary, aren't we? Right?
Oh, yeah. We're going to go through all of the games. So we're going to do D&D, Shadowrun, World of Darkness... the Paranoia, Call of Cthulhu. It's gonna be crazy. We really shouldn't say this because they're gonna want it now.
Promises.
We should think up something though. And one of the things I do want to do a little bit more. Funny mentioning that RPG Lab before. At one point, I had an idea for a thing to do on stream called the GM Lab, where you get a bunch of DMs, GMs, STs, call them whatever you will, people who run games, and get them to do half-baked game systems that they'd come up with. So my World of Darkness variant and things like that. I was going to do it with a bunch of DMs that I know here, but a lot of them are very busy. Some of them have moved away. Some of them become parents now, so it fell through. But we were going to do that at some point. I'm not going to try to resurrect that. But maybe looking at my old playbook and doing a few one-shots of various systems, I think is probably a good idea. I've always wanted to do EDRPG, but unfortunately I can't teach you guys that unless I mail you the core book and each of you reads it and takes notes and then brings it back. So I think there's probably a better way of doing something else. I've got some systems based on the Star Wars dice system, which, if you haven't used it, is an amazing narrative-led system where you can succeed and fail, succeed with advantage, fail with advantage, succeed with disadvantage. It throws a lot of interesting tangents into the mix. So we might do a one shot based on that. Brief overview of what I've got in the book at the moment. I've got 3 space games. I've got a Gene Punk game. I've got a Wastelander game, so kind of like Fallout, but with less of the kitschness and a few of my weird ideas thrown in. Although that tends to be more of a kind of resource management game, so probably wouldn't be very good on a stream. And then in terms of one shots, I've probably got close to about just over 20 D&D one shots now. One including a unicorn called Steve, which was by popular demand. And yeah, I've got also Werewolf the Forsaken, which I ran for 5 years, a single game for 5 years at one point. So I might kind of do a tip of the hat to that at some point. So we'll get some ideas, but first things first, let's get some damn video going forward, because there's no point just doing all those extra things.
Nice to have video again.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm going to stop recording now because I'm about to have...
Simon.
What's that,
Take a look at the article I posted.
Yes, there's one in particular there that I'm interested in because I'm actually affiliated with them. So we'll take a look at that. Anyway, I'm about to get some late night house guests because they're in the middle of traveling. And so I will say thank you to everybody. We love you all. And it's great to be back. And we will see you next week. Good night.
See you later, guys.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.